Wonderful.
Welcome back, everyone. We have a representative here from the World Awareness Children's Museum in Glens Falls, starring June Waters. You know I had to do that, didn't
Yes,
you?
I guess you did.
Anybody that has a name like June Waters just sounds like it's from a sitcom from some era during the highlight of television.
It's
the
my
heyday of television.
It's
right?
my stage name.
It is, okay, that's fine. June is Executive Director of the World Awareness Children's Museum in Glens Falls. She's been on here before, and you may have heard me say this before. This is an absolutely amazing museum. And you have to be careful when you use the word museum here, because when I took my granddaughters there, I could hear the kids from the parking lot.
Yes, it's a children's museum.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And they just have so much fun when they're there.
They do.
And it's a learning experience on top of it.
Always, yes. There's
Yeah, I
something
know.
in every corner that is sneakily educational while they're having all kinds of fun.
And you know, the other thing, June, that really catches my attention is the fact that, you know, in an era where you hear words like protectionism and isolation and all of those things, here's an opportunity for children to see what a Japanese tea ceremony is
Yes,
like,
yeah.
to understand what it would be like to go into a garden in Mexico and pick things and cook
Exactly,
things and make
right.
things.
Yes.
You know, you've got some wonderful exhibits there.
Yes, and that's the hope, that children's actions there will inform them and spark their curiosity about the world without having to, before they travel as adults. I was going to say without having to travel, but the hope is that people will be inspired, children will be inspired.
You know, again, just on a personal note, my granddaughters were there, and you have a rainforest
Yes.
exhibit.
Yes.
And the sounds of the birds. And I just remember my granddaughters, when we went up to Lake George later on, saying to my wife and I about the birds, because they were listening to the birds up in Hague in the forest. And it
How
just,
nice.
you know, just that kind of worldly experience for them is so
A
important.
very nice connection, yes.
And, you know, it really spurs their imagination, right? You see it all the
does.
time.
Yes, every day. It is amazing, the kind of imaginative play that goes on and on and on for hours.
Now, the museum is, I would kind of remember 2012 being kind of a turning point with Jackie Tuba, right?
Oh, yes. Our founder and amazing woman. The interactive space, which has been named Go, and Discover the World. That opened in 2012, and the curatorial designs inside, they change periodically, but we like to keep the consistent, as you mentioned, the rainforest and the tea room, because that's what children like to come back to. So that interpretive space opened in 2012. Prior to that, the foundation was the art collection, and some educational programming we did outside. But in 2012 was transformational with the ability of families to come to this amazing play space.
You know, when June talks about the art exhibit, she's talking about art from around the world from children.
Yes.
And
children.
it's amazing to see children art sometimes,
Yes.
right? It just tells such an amazing story.
Yes, and all of our exhibitions and spaces are based on elements in that artwork.
Yes, I know. Now, you do have revolving exhibits or new exhibits moving in and out.
Yes.
I saw that you have one coming up this summer.
Yes.
It's appropriate time for this one. It's called Water.
Water everywhere.
Okay, you
That's
better
it.
explain how this one works.
Well, you know, the theme of water is globally relevant. Communities grow up around water. Certain places in the world suffer from water deficits. There's, you know, the more adult themes, which we'll address in different ways of pollution and water sustainability. But for the kids who come to the museum, we're going to have wildly creative exhibits thanks to our curator, Russell Seriani, who is designing, among other things, a space where you feel like you'll be underwater.
Oh, wow.
And so there's all kinds of all kinds of ways to work with the concept of the biodiversity, fish, coral. It's going to be quite beautiful. But we're also working with the idea of ports and ships and the variety of ships throughout history and around the world. And again, this comes from the children's art.
Now, this exhibit, by the way, opens up at the end of June, just in time for July and August, June 30th, I think. But the other reason I asked June to come in today was that they've got their fundraiser. And instead of sitting here and telling you all about what they're serving for dinner or whatever, I think this is so important just so that you know what contribution this museum is making to our community and the well-being of our children, because that's what really stays in my mind about this.
Yes.
But we do have a fundraiser coming up, and
Yes,
it's important that you participate. It's this Sunday, May 6th, at Six Flags Great Escape Lodge, the Mohican Ballroom?
Yes.
Yeah, right. And it's like $75 a person. The money goes right back into all of the work that June and her team do to provide this incredibly unique experience for children. Usual fare there at you've got silent auction and a live auction. You've got you have great music.
We have great music. John Miller is playing for us during the dinner. And when you say usual fare, I mean our restaurants reflect the international themes. We have the Tandoori Grill. We have Thai with a Roy D from Glens Falls.
So it's as global as worldly
Yes,
as the museum
and so I would
is,
not
right?
call it usual fare. It's always really fun in that you can go from the restaurants, the chef's stations to stations through the course of the dinner. And we do have our vast silent auction, which includes international baskets, a wine cooler, you name it. I think we have it. Some wonderful art.
Is there a website that people can go to find out more?
Well, on the website, you'll see there is a way to purchase tickets, a way to see more of what's happening. Yes.
Good. The main thing here is support this organization. I've been there, like I said, with my granddaughters, and it's just an absolutely amazing space. Well, June, thank you very much for coming in.
Well, thank you for having me.
Talking about this. It's the 28th annual International Cuisine Dinner and Auction that benefits the World Awareness Children's Museum in Glens Falls. This Sunday, May 6th, 5 p.m. I like Sunday ones that start a little bit earlier. 5 p.m. at the Great Escape Lodge. Thanks for coming in.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. See this interview again. You can head to our website, looktvonline.com.